When you have success, the only reason why your brain is discounting it is because it doesn't align with the current shitty identity you have of yourself. You currently identify with not being successful, with not being good enough, not being able to create the results you want for yourself or your clients. You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in. Hello, my babes. Welcome back to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, and I'm an imposter syndrome expert that specializes in helping coaches overcome imposter syndrome so they can sign four-figure clients, grow their businesses, and just love their lives. I'm also a best-selling Amazon author, and you can buy You're Not Special in most countries on Amazon, and it's also at the link in my show notes. It is November when you are listening to this, but the real ones know that Jill records her podcast episodes a month out. So I just want to share with you that there is nothing better than recording podcast episodes when it's a Saturday in October and spooky season is upon us. I'm not a big Halloween fan, but I'll still watch the movies and just smoking a little bit of weed before getting on these podcast recordings to like loosen things up, you know what I'm saying? But when you're listening to this, it is November, and can you believe it? Dustin and I are, fingers crossed, going on a hot and sunny vacation soon. We literally haven't been on vacation together alone since 2015. And the last time that I was somewhere tropical and sunny was 2018 with my parents, and his last tropical vacation was back in 2015 when we went to Barbados, but that was with my family. We do a lot of traveling with our family and with our friends, so the last time that we were together alone I think was in like Wilmington, North Carolina in 2015 for my very first One Tree Hill convention. So we are fucking due for a nice hot and sunny vacation. We're going to do an all-inclusive so we can get drunk by the pool, swim in the ocean. I can read my million books on my Kobo and I can just turn my brain off. I am so excited. And I'm also so excited for my clients who are re-signing for another 6 months and for onboarding new one-to-one clients in the past month. Their lives are going to change for the better and their businesses are going to completely blow up. I can just feel it. And I was actually in tears the other day when a private client sent in her final feedback form. And like, just listen to what she said about her favorite part of working together, okay? She said, "I don't think I can articulate one favorite, but Jill's ability to hold space for your worthiness and believe in your potential from the very first call is unmatched. I walked away from every single call feeling more aligned, confident, and empowered to think and act like the person I knew I could be." So fucking good, right? This client completely shifted her identity while we worked together. Her biggest shifts were releasing the shame of her past, recognizing how her relationship with control had been keeping her stuck, embracing her weirdness, showing up on Instagram authentically, feeling safe to show up, feeling worthy to be seen as an expert, starting a podcast, sharing her story, loving herself, and creating space in her life that's just for her. And she brought in 5 figures in sales and was grounded and felt worthy of her $7,500 USD price point for her one-to-one coaching package. And y'all, this client was not really showing up at all when we started. Her transformation is literally out of this world for such a short amount of time because 6 months can feel like a long time, but it is really not. And transforming this much in that short of time is unreal. And this client, guys, is not special. All my clients show up that way. They think there's something about them that the universe won't work in their favor, and it's all bullshit. I used to think the same thing too, but you are not special. That's why I call my book You're Not Special. These results are available to you too. In 6 months of private coaching, we banish your inner imposter so you feel like the expert. I help you show up and sell confidently and help you sign and work with 4-figure clients so you can live a life and run a business that you love. Book a sales call at the link in my show notes now before my rates increase, and I can't wait to work with you. And guys, I help my clients get the results that they come for, period, point blank. But this is one of the biggest reasons why you may be feeling like a fraud. You ask yourself, can I actually get a result for someone? Will I be able to get them a transformation? What if they don't get an ROI, right? Like, I think about the confidence that I have in my result and the transformation that I can help my clients achieve, and that alone will sell your services, right? This is like the biggest thing I work on with my clients in coaching with them. These questions of, again, can I actually get a result for someone? Will I be able to get them a transformation? What if they don't get an ROI? These questions can seriously affect your ability to A, get specific on a transformation, and B, show up and actually fucking sell your offers. Because the transformation you get your clients is the crux of your offer. And this is why in private coaching, I help my clients build rock solid belief in 3 main areas: belief in themselves, belief in their offer, and belief in their mission. Because when you have real belief in what you can help someone create, the offer in which you deliver it, and your overall mission and contribution to the world, how the fuck could you not show up and sell that? If you've created results in the past for your clients, these thoughts will still come up, even with evidence, because your brain is still clouded by imposter syndrome. This means that despite your wins, or even the wins you've gotten your clients, you discount them. You discredit your involvement. You put all the onus on the client, completely disregarding yourself. Or you make it a personality thing, right? Like, this client achieved this and she would have even without my help. And even though that is amazing that you had a client who was a good personality fit for you or whatever, it still discounts your involvement. It's still not doing anything for the evidence and for building belief in your brain. But your success is not a fluke. You know what it was? It was evidence of your highest self peeking through and showing you what you're capable of. It was a moment of alignment. When you have success, the only reason why your brain is discounting it is because it doesn't align with the current shitty identity you have of yourself. You currently identify with not being successful, with not being good enough, not being able to create the results you want for yourself or your clients. So obviously, when evidence of the contrary comes to slap you in the face, you think it's an anomaly. You don't think it'll stick. And this is an identity shift you have to make, because what would it mean if you didn't think it was a fluke? If this was common for someone like you, if this was an everyday occurrence for a coach like you, what would you think about yourself? How would you carry yourself? How would you solve problems in your business? Because the issue of not knowing what transformation you help someone with, this is a problem to be solved. It is not imposter syndrome's time to shine, even though that's what you're letting happen. You're sitting in indecision and anxiety and shame because you don't know the results you can help someone achieve, and like it's gonna come to you. Like, no, bitch, you just decide. You just decide what that result is. When I decided to help women with imposter syndrome, no one told me to do that. I just saw the gap in the market and I went for it. Like ordering food at a restaurant, you have to decide what's best for you right now and go ahead and order it. You have to go first, and you are the one who makes the transformation appealing and enticing to your audience. Stop asking yourself, and your audience, quite frankly, what they want. I fucking hate when I see people in their Instagram stories saying, do you want this? How do you feel about that? Should I do this offer? Should I do this? La la la. Like, no. You tell them what they want. You decide on the transformation you can help someone achieve, and then you decide on how you're going to help them get it. And then you decide that you're a badass bitch who's going to do everything in her power to make that transformation happen. And then you also decide that if problems arise or if they don't get any kind of result, which is highly, highly unlikely, everybody calm down, you will just solve for that problem. You won't beat yourself up or retreat into a cave forever. If your identity is at the place of, I am a coach that gets a transformation for my client, how would she move and think differently? This is a simple shift to make, but it's such a powerful one. So often we are thinking and acting from our imposter identity. It's unconscious, of course. We're programmed, conditioned to think this way. We're programmed to automatically go to panic and fear if we think that we're going to be exposed or if something isn't going perfectly. But if you take a moment to become aware of the thoughts, slow down and remember that it's a choice to think and act from your imposter identity or your highest self identity, you will course correct the behavior. And eventually it will become your norm to step into that highest self. There's a psychological term I learned in my undergrad called the Pygmalion effect, and it's commonly called the Rosenthal effect as well. It's a concept where expectations set for high performance are usually what occurs. The most famous studies are teachers who expect certain students to do better than others, and this is almost always the case. Their thoughts create the result. When you expect more from someone when it comes to behavior, they usually follow through and meet those expectations. I coach my clients often on seeing their clients and potential clients in an empowered way. You do not realize how big this shift is. I coach my clients all the time to see not only their clients, but also their audience in an empowered way. So often we are looking at them like they don't like when I show up, they think I'm stupid, they think I'm incapable, and imagine if you changed your thoughts about what you thought people thought about you, right? Like if you changed your thoughts to, they love to see me show up, they think I'm an expert, imagine how differently you would show up, okay? Because think about it this way. Why are you automatically assuming someone won't get results when it comes to your coaching? Not only does that require a disempowered view of yourself, it also requires a disempowered view of your potential clients as well. What if you expected them to show up wholeheartedly? What if you expected them to give it their all? What if you expected the best out of the people whose lives you want to change and expected the best out of yourself? It's been months since a client of mine has defaulted on their payments. I don't expect them to. All of my clients show up and do the work, and I choose to see them in an empowered way. And that wasn't always the case, okay? Like, I totally understand that there are situations where clients don't pay and people don't show up, and it doesn't mean a thing about ourselves. But I also think that intention and communicating the fact that you have expectations for the people who you are working with, right? I think that's so important, and it's choosing to see yourself and others in an empowering way. And what if your future self had your back? I was coaching a client on this recently because she has a lot of anxiety of what could happen in a coaching container, what could happen with her business, and of course, all of these what ifs are very worst case scenario and negative. It always comes back to self-trust, something that we're building for her. If you fully and completely trusted yourself, what worries would fall away? Can you learn how to trust your future self? How does she have your back? And this is honestly a big reason, guys, why I'm so successful and why I've made $350K in less than 3 years in coaching sales, because I trust that no matter what happens, I'll figure it out. I'll be more than okay because I have my own back. Like, sure, I worry and get stressed from time to time, of course. I'm a human with anxiety, but I am so grounded in my self-trust that I quite literally will say out loud, future Jill can deal with that, because I am just so certain that whatever comes my way, I'll be able to handle it mentally, emotionally, physically, etc. And this is also largely in part of emotional management as well, because I believe in my ability to handle whatever emotion is thrown at me. And I have a lot of emotions, guys. So essentially what I'm saying is that what you expect, you get, and what you intend will occur. I set intentions for each of my clients when I work with them. I know what I want them to work on. I know what they need to do, and I know why they do and don't get results. But the reason why all of my clients report such high levels of satisfaction with my coaching is because, like my client at the beginning of this episode, I see their potential from the get-go. I see what they're capable of, even if they can't. And I see my potential, even if I haven't fully reached it yet. Believing you can transform someone's life or get them a result is a decision, and it is backed by self-trust, positive expectation, and empowerment on both sides of the coin. Empowerment of yourself as the leader and empowerment of your client. And the decision is the easy part. Once you decide what your result or transformation is for your client, that's where the work begins. You develop a process, you look at your tools and your style of coaching, and you do anything and everything to make it happen. Our businesses are nothing without our clients, y'all, so it is really important to make decisions about your results and what you help people with now so you can get your belief behind it and start changing people's lives. And this is the work that we do in private coaching. We build belief in yourself, your offer, and your mission so you can believe in the transformation you can help someone achieve and you can show up confidently and sell. Overcome imposter syndrome so you can sign 4-figure clients. The world needs what you offer. Book a sales call to work with me in 6 months of private coaching at the link in my show notes, and I can't wait to work with you. I'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. Head to the show notes to find out how you can take this work deeper with me in one-to-one coaching or in the From Imposter to Empowered group program. In the show notes, you'll also find a free 3-day challenge to start the process of overcoming your inner imposter. And once you're done with all of that, screenshot this episode and share it on Instagram, tagging me at YourCoachJill so we can connect. See you next time.